Here's a question that deals with multiplicities. And so multiplicities where you have a zero that repeats. So here I've got a function, p of x, and I have one factor that is repeated 6 times and another factor that's repeated 7 times. If a factor repeats itself, or if you have a zero resulting from that factor that has an even multiplicity, then what happens on the graph at that point is, like at 9, it would come down and bounce off and go the other way. Or another way of saying it is that it's tangent to the x-intercept at whatever the 0 is. If you have an odd multiplicity, then it goes through. I usually say it bends. So it would do something like this at that point, like at -4, it would come and sort of bend around, but it would still go through at that point. So they say in this question, true, false thing, that the graph crosses at 9, 0. Well, if my multiplicity is even, then it means it doesn't cross, but it's tangent to. So let's read theirs. The statement is false. It is false because x minus 96 is a factor of the given polynomial and the exponent 6 is odd. Well, that's odd. It's not odd, it's even. Thus the graph is tangent. So it is tangent to, but 6 is not odd. Second one, the statement is false because that is a factor, yes. The exponent 6 is even, and because it's even, then the graph is tangent to the x-axis at that point. And notice at the point, so it's x minus 9 to the 6th. So there'd be 6 of those, right? X minus 9, etc., 6 times. Each of them you could solve for the 0, and you'd add 9 to both sides. So you get x equals 9. So that's the 0. And then the multiplicity is 6. Since it's even, it's tangent to that point. So if I were to draw this graph, I don't know if I'll be able to, it's a fairly big one. So at 9, something funky happens, and at -4, something funky happens. So since the sum of the factors is 13, it'll be a graph that starts low and goes high. So I'd say at this one, this is one where it does a bend, and this is where it's tangent to. So what I'd say is the graph starts coming up, does something, but then it bends through there. It goes up, it might do something else. As it comes back down to this one, it's going to come and bounce and go back, or be tangent to. Let's test our theory out and just see what happens with Desmos. Desmos.com graphing calculator. So we have bracket x minus 9 bracket to the 6th, go over bracket x plus 4 bracket to the 7th, Okay, so let's take a look at the graph. So it did come down at that point. See, at 4, and it bent like I thought it would. And then over at 9, what happens? Yeah, it comes down. Yeah, it comes down and is tangent to the line at that point. So it doesn't go through at 9, it just comes down as tangent to it and then goes back. All right, hopefully that helps you out with that question.